small round substance as fine as frost on the ground. So when the children of Israel saw it, they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. Are we in verse 16 as yet? This is the thing that the Lord has commanded. Let every man gather it according to every man's need. 1 omer for each person, according to the number of persons. Now let every man take to those of his tent. But that's not the verse I want. The verse that I want probably is in verse 31. Yes, and the house of Israel called its name manna, and it was like a white coriander seed, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Then Moses said, "This is the thing which the Lord has commanded. Fill an omer with it to be kept for generations, that they may see the bread with which I fed you in the wilderness when I brought you out of Egypt." And Moses said to Aaron, "Take a pot and put an omer of manna in it and lay it up before the Lord to be kept for generations." And the Lord commanded Moses to, so Aaron laid it up before the testimony to be kept. And the children of Israel ate manna 40 days until they came to uninhabited land. They ate manna until they came to the border of the land of Canaan. Number 3. The first one I told you, write it. It's a writing. The second thing I've told you, we keep our heritage through festivals, celebrations, writings, celebrations. Number 3, we keep artifacts. 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 Lame guys, we made quite a number of lame people walk. And we used to have those clutches at the back of the church, at the back of the altar. We need to pick those things and put them back. People need to be reminded of where we've come from. And those artifacts need to continue. The people who began to see when they came to church, we would hang their glasses there. There are people whose backs were healed. We would hang those things there. There are people who walked. We would hang their sticks there. We need to hang artifacts there to remind us of where God has gotten us from. You may not have been lame, but there are things we need to keep. There are things we need to keep. There are things which we will outgrow and we don't need to throw them away. Actually, I am believing God for me to be able to build another house. And then I turn my house into a museum. And not just a museum. I don't want to move stuff. I want my house to remain the way it is. Leave 2 or 3 rooms where people can come in and sleep and pray. But I want other things to be left the way they are so that people can just come in to see and experience the presence and maybe stay in one of the rooms or 2. Or I want my bed to be left where it is, but I want to put a second bed where people can sleep. This one, we put it in a glass. Because eventually, people will need to come. People need to come, and people will need to come and say, where did this guy used to sit? Tourism. Where did he used to sit? So we need those artifacts. I just hope my wife didn't throw them away. I had the clothes I wore in the days of Osborne and Maurice Cerudo. I have ties I used to demonstrate. My wife was telling me, we need to get rid of these things. I was telling her, some of these are not things. They're not things for throwing away. They're not things for throwing away. They are not books I have. There's a notebook I'm looking for about the future of Uganda. God gave it to me in 1994. And yeah. Oh, Junteke Maregazite. Yes, your first jita. Yes. Yes. Those jitas, we need to hang them. You remember the other place we went to and saw Apostle Deobalabi Kubo's speaker? Brand new speaker. The speaker he never shipped to Uganda. It's still in his wife's house. He's been dead since 1994. But the wife kept that speaker in the sitting room. There is a story behind that speaker. So we need to think. You also are part of this story. We have photographs. Yes, Tesla, you're telling me you made 15 years. Yes, yes. Thanks, Wilfred. Thank you, Wilfred. There are things that appear useless, but they are artifacts. They are artifacts. In fact, I want to buy back that super custom and bring it and put it there. Not for driving, but put it there and maintain it. Build a very nice structure and keep it there and tell people lives were changed in this car. Okay? So we said this is how we maintain our heritage. Number one, we write about the happenings. Number two, we hold festivals to remind ourselves on the exact dates when God did stuff. On the 4th, which is on Friday, Christ at lunch hour is going to be making how many years? Today first? No, it was on the 4th. 1st of July. I thought it's on the 4th. Today, the lunch hour has made 10 years. 10 years. 10 years in Kampala. Can you imagine? 10 years in Kampala. We've been paying 15 million shillings a month for the last 10 years. And we have never, ever begged people who come in the lunch hour to sow money. 10 years. 10 solid years. Wow. 10 years. 10 years. Running a lunch hour. and you have never told people 1 million stand here, 500 stand here, 250 stand here, and the others stand there in a group. You think about it. 1.5 billion. Is it 1.5? 1.8. 1.8 billion in rent. And we've not defaulted. We have not defaulted. Now, if you don't celebrate God, yeah, we've spent 1.8 billion in 10 years on rent. One site. We have about 8 sites where we pay rent. Now, if you don't know how to tap into financial freedom, you know, we started a church in England and we are paying rent from Uganda for 1 year for that church. Uganda, Christchurch was paying for Christchurch UK rent for 1 year. Now, if you knew the gift of God, you would be sowing money in Christchurch. Because the dimension we are entering now is a dimension of buying buildings overseas. If this is my own principle, if you have managed to become a lizard without help, when you get an opportunity, God will turn you into a crocodile. This is our heritage. We don't default on rent. We don't default on rent. We do not beg for money. Even when people are not faithful, God makes a way. I remember very well, God told me to build a chapel at home. And in the process, when God told me to build a chapel, I told my wife, you know, I need to get out of the, I wanted to just build a shed, a pergola, just so that we can hold the services outside. As I was going to build a pergola, the Lord told me, are you sure you sustain that pergola? Then I began to change the pergola issue. So from the pergola, I ended up building a chapel. So I exhausted the finances which I had, and I told God, what next? I get a phone call. There's a woman. Hey, Pademan, nice to see you, my friend and my brother. But I'm waiting for my music. I'm not seeing it. Please send those things. So I was praying, asking God what I'm going to do. God sent me someone, one person. They were in America with the 3 people in a coma. 1, 2, 3. Told me, oh, you see, my relatives are in a coma. My father and 2 brothers. I entered prayer and fasting. I said, before the end of today, to the glory of God, before the end of that day, the 3 people walked out of a coma. The family sat down and they said, you see, we are going to sow a seed. They sowed a seed. They sent me money, Thanksgiving money, enough to roof that chapel. So as I was telling these guys, when we reached that wall plate, I told them, you know, guys, we're going to take a break. In the evening, I told them, Terry Kuzikiza, tomorrow we go buy the materials and we are going to roof. And they said, but you told us you don't have the money. I told them the miracle has just fallen. Where did the miracle fall from? Where did the miracle fall from? The miracle fell from the internet. How did it come? Someone contacted me. We prayed together. Their relatives came back from the coma. And the family sat down and said that there is no way we cannot sow money in this ministry. They sent me money, and that's the money we used to roof the chapel in the home. And even while we're doing that, people started coming. When they saw that miracle, people started coming. Someone brought tiles, another one brought cement. I remember my wife had cement there. We just started using the cement, everything. And within a record time, everything was completed. How did it happen? Why did we do it? We did it as a heritage to God. We built. So we now need to move to that other level. We need each one of you. There are things God has done. Don't throw them away. Don't throw away your books where you've written your notes. Don't throw away those clothes. Don't throw away those photographs. Don't say, I will first get better in order for me to take photographs. Take photographs the way you are, because those are going to serve as memories to what God is going to be doing. Hallelujah. I think this is going to be our number 4. Number 4 is Exodus chapter 4. Exodus chapter 4 and verse 24. This is another thing that we have to do. We should always remember that everything that God does, He will require of us a sign. Let's begin in verse 21. And the Lord said to Moses, when you go back to Egypt, see that you do all those things, those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in your hand. But I will harden his heart so that he will not let the people go. Then you shall say to Pharaoh, thus says the Lord, Israel is my firstborn, is my son, my firstborn. So I say to you, let my son go that he may serve me. But if you refuse to let him go, indeed I will kill your son, your firstborn. And it came to pass on the way at the encampment that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. To kill who? Moses. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at Moses' feet and said, surely you are a husband of blood to me. So he let him go. Who? God. Because of the circumcision. Circumcision was a sign that God required. So we are not going to have circumcision, but we should always have reminders. Circumcise your heart. Circumcise your heart. I'll leave that there. I'm not going to talk about circumcision more than that, but it was a sign of a reminder of the covenant. So you should always have a covenant. You should always honor the covenant. You should always honor the things you say to God you will do when you were in trouble. Last but not least, mark the place. Mark the place. Mark the place where God visits you. Mark the place and always return to that place. There are people who came out of Christ's and they said they will never return. There's a thing you're going to miss. That one I am telling you for sure. Joshua chapter 4, verse 8, and the children of Israel did so just as Joshua commanded them, and took up 12 stones from the midst of the Jordan, as the Lord had spoken to Joshua, according to the number of the tribes of the children of Israel, and carried them over with them to the place where they lodged, and they laid them there. Then Joshua set up 12 stones in the midst of the Jordan, in the place where the feet of the priests who bore the ark of the covenant stood, where they are today. Mark the place. Mark the place. Mark the place. Let's go over these things quickly before we come to the end. I told you the first thing you need to do, you should write, scribe, write your experiences. Number two, you should hold festivals on exact days, anniversaries, in honor of what God has done, to mark your heritage, to secure your heritage. Number three, you should keep artifacts for a future generation to look at and recall. Number four, you should respect the covenant. Every person that comes into your fellowship, into your tribe, into your spiritual family should undergo the same spiritual practices that you have undergone. We encourage speaking in tongues. We encourage the three witnesses, the tears, mucus, and saliva. We encourage fasting and prayer. We encourage going to Gerenge, for a spiritual experience. These are things that are unique to us. Yeah. And they are not the only things that are unique to us. There are several other things that when you begin to practice them and when they begin to happen to you, they confirm your heritage. Number last, we should mark the place and return to that place. And return to that place. Our headquarters are in Mukono. That will never change. That's where the current revival, the new revival, has a root. Whether you believe it or you don't, you shall live long to prove me right. So, you have a heritage. I don't know your heritage. I've just shared mine. Don't just follow people that have no background, that have no history. They have nowhere to take you. And by the way, when you get of age, you turn 30 years, 40 years, and all you know is your father. You need to ask him, when you die, where are we taking you? Because where you're taking him as a son, that's where you go. Don't say, no, for me, I have money. I can buy a place in Limbo. People who are buried in Limbo are people who have no heritage. My spiritual father told me something. In Bunyole, they have a saying. Bunyole is a tribe in eastern Uganda. They have a saying that when a person dies among their own people, their death is exaggerated. Many people show up. Why? Because they have so many connections to the mother, to the father, to the grandmother, to the grandfather, to the great-grandmother, like that. So people relate to you based on the stratas from which you come from. But if you die in a foreign land, where you don't even know your neighbor, nobody will show up. Your death will be summarized. There are many people today whose spiritual lives have been summarized, whose stories in this world have been summarized because they walked away from their heritage. God is not a fool to cause you to believe by a certain man. And if you're avoiding the people by whom you believed, you owe God an explanation. So I'm not going to go beyond this point. Spiritual heritage to end here. In case you joined us on TikTok, this sermon is going to be left on YouTube, Christart TV on YouTube. Go ahead and watch it again and make your own notes and begin to retrace your steps. If you've been here, you're constantly here, you better Join officially. Stop being in the shadows. Stop using strange names. Come out and be known. And if you're following properly, ask to submit and ask to be covered, because you're going to be lost there. Asimwe, nice to see you. I'm here by the grace of God. I'm here. I don't know which Asimwe is this. Is this Pastor Asimwe, or it's my friend Asimwe from Makindi? Or Asimwe from Covenant? I'm still here by the grace of God. I love you guys. Have yourselves a wonderful day. You want to watch this sermon again? Go to YouTube, Christ's Heart TV, and continue enjoying. It's been nice talking to you. I love you guys. Asimwe, please send me your details here on Interact or here on TikTok. We can be able to talk. I love you guys. May God bless you.